My name is Ofer, and this time I meet Natan Abramov from Configo, a bootstrapped SaaS company that failed miserably with their first product, but learned from it, adapted, and are now killing it with their second product. They went from 0 to 700K in ARR in 2.5 years and are growing at a 100% year-over-year rate. But for Nathan, this is not enough. Nathan wants to grow faster and bigger. Let's travel to Beersheba, Israel, to get to know Nathan and the Configo story. Nathan, tell me a little bit about yourself and what drove you to start Configo.
Nathan, or Natan Abramov, I'm 27. I started Configo about 5 years ago. Configo, like he said, is the name of the company. It's actually the name of the first product that we started 5 years ago, and it failed miserably. And ProveSource is sort of a pivot we made about 2.5 years ago. When I finished my duties in the army, I was looking for somewhere to work. And every day we were talking about ideas. What are we going to build? What are we going to do? What do we want to do? And stuff like that. Until 1 year later, we saw like an issue in the company we worked in WorldMate for managing stuff in mobile apps. And we said, that's an opportunity, let's build that. So we resigned the next day and we started working. And we worked and built something and developed something. And we didn't really get out of the office or try to sell it. We just built it because we thought if you're going to build it, they're going to come. And it worked tremendously well. It was a great software application. And we started trying to sell it and nobody was buying it. Anyways, we started selling to banks, or tried to sell to banks, and we flew all over the place. We did demos all over the place. We talked to tons and tons of innovation managers, and nothing really came out. In the end, we sold like one license, like 3 years later. It's 3 years of building software and trying to sell it. We sold one license, we canceled it, like we rolled back the deal, and we decided we're gonna kill the baby. And we should start something new. And right about then we were really frustrated, running out of money. And somehow we were looking at booking.com, I think, and we saw this message about 5 people are watching this hotel or booked this room or whatever. Oh, that's a cool feature. Maybe we can build a platform out of it. Let's see if people want it. Like we did something for 3 years, we built it and then we tried to sell it. Let's go the other way around. Let's sell it and then we'll build it. So we did like this small landing page. We said there's like tons of customers or whatever, and click here to buy now. And then we tried to sell it. So we put a bit of ads on Google Ads and a bit of ads on Facebook and Product Hunt and stuff like that. And with a simple goal in mind, we want 100 users to sign up, like people who want to buy this thing, and then we're gonna build it. 1 month later, we had 200 signups. We're like, wow, cool, let's start building it. And then we built this small little thing and we reached out to all those people and tried to sell it again. And we did manage to sell it once, like out of 200 people, 1 person bought it. Wow, we made like 20 bucks. That's cool. We haven't ever made any money from software. I mean, before that, from our own business, except for that one rolled back license. But that felt 100 times better, selling that one monthly subscription. Right, so like I said in the beginning, we saw this notification in booking.com. 5 people booked this hotel in the last day or so. So the idea is social proof. It's like a psychological thing that people have, like the herd effect. If you see somebody else do something, or a lot of people do something, you want to do it yourself too, because it's interesting. Something's good going on there. And we always give this example of if you go down the street and you see a full restaurant, you want to try it. You say to yourself, wow, that's a good restaurant. It's probably a good restaurant, I should try it. And if you see an empty restaurant, you're not going to think about it even. That's probably a bad restaurant, I don't want to be there. And we want to do the same for websites. So websites can show how many people are in it, what's going on the website, who's buying, what was bought, stuff like that. Good reviews that are left for the website. And that's the whole thing about it. So it's a social proof platform for websites. The website owner can decide what he wants to share, and we enable it so he can share it with his visitors.
How many people are you today?
Right, so today we're 4 people. The 2 of us until 1 year ago, and then we recruited 1 developer. And 4 or 5 months ago, we recruited a marketing guy or a growth, a VP of growth, and now we're recruiting another person for customer support.
Today you're 2 years in.
Almost 3. No, 2.5. 2.5
years in.
Yeah.
And you've reached 700K in ARR.
Yeah.
From ProveSource.
Yeah, so it's 600K from ProveSource, a bit more maybe, and about 100 to 120K from PurpleAds. So that's the second product we started.
Yeah. So mostly is that e-commerce sites that are using ProveSource? Is it B2B businesses? Is it all around?
I'd say that all in all, it's somewhat all around. So there's a lot of audiences. Anyone who has a website and he sells something or makes people sign up can use that thing. But maybe the most, the audience that is the warmest, or he knows this thing the best, would be e-commerce and travel.
And then what would be your average ACV from a customer? So let's say 90% of the people are getting the $49.95 to $50 a month.
Yeah.
That'll be 600 ACV annual contract value out of a customer. Would that be like the average, or is it more leaning towards the $20? Is it more upscale than that?
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, our ARPU is around $40. So 40 times 12 is about $500. So that's the ACV per customer, I think. Yeah, that's give or take.
Where are your leads coming from today?
Most of the leads come from our branding. So the free plan and the smallest plan include a branded notification. So it's like sort of like notifications popping up on the website, right? And then this notification has this small title saying it's ProveSource, it's made by ProveSource, powered by ProveSource, whatever. So I'd say roughly 50% come from that thing, from the branding. And then the rest of the 50% is a lot of integrations. So since it's something that connects to websites, we created tons and tons of integrations. So we have a Shopify app, we have a Wix app, we have a WordPress plugin, Google Tag Manager, explainer video, whatever, a lot of things, because every bit of platform is also a marketing channel or a marketing strategy. If you work on the SEO there or the ratings and the reviews, people see you more or get exposed to your app more, and it brings a lot of leads too. I'd say that roughly 20 or 30% comes from that thing, and I can say that revenue-wise, 20% is about Shopify. So the Shopify app, about 20% revenue comes from there. So I'd say roughly 30% comes from integrations. And then the rest of the 20% is probably ads and some organic SEO oriented leads. So a lot of Google ads and Facebook ads mostly.
How many leads would you say on average are coming in on a monthly basis?
So I would say top funnel is 2,000 signups, like total, and then 1,500 is activated email. And then about 1.1 or 1.2K is onboarded. So from 1.1K, maybe let's say 1K, about 70 to 100 will convert to a paying plan.
If we take the 70 customers, time the $500 of ARR out of every customer, we should be at around 50K, 35K of new ARR to Configo every month.
So I think that's roughly right. So I can say that over the past year, since the beginning of 2020, we grew in about 400K ARR, and we're not at the end of the year yet. So I'd say that's pretty much it.
Have you ever considered having salespeople here to start and do some inside sales or some form of sales to potential prospects to increase conversion, etc., specifically for the higher paid plans?
So we thought about it, and my partner, he really likes salespeople. I don't know why. He really wants us to have a salesperson in the team, and I'm always like, no way, because to justify his salary or what he costs you, he needs to bring like 10 big customers a month. And if we can't bring those 10 big customers a month, why would he be able to do that? Because we tried that ourselves, right? So we tried to sell it ourselves a few times. I mean, like, a lot of it is automated, but then you say, what if I can bring one big customer a month, if I do the work? And then you try it, and it doesn't really work. You can't, it's not that easy bringing in those customers. So we don't bring that sales rep because we ourselves didn't manage to make those sales yet, or we didn't find the right process to sell. and we can't see it justifying the salary of the person. So we want to stay lean and not, like the price point is not high enough to bring in a salesperson. In general, I think that if we take a look at ProveSource, we don't see it as a business that's going to grow into the 10 million ARR scale, because the industry is just not there. Like there isn't enough people aware of social proof and notifications in the industry to buy it, or like even to search for it. So I don't see how this software is going to grow big enough to justify a sales rep. But if we talk about PurpleAds, that's something I can definitely see, because you can see like the spend there is not a monthly subscription. It's like as the more you advertise, the more you pay.
Okay, that's a good segue to talk about your decision to be a multi-product company. You've decided, I think, very early on that you wanted to be a multi-product company.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about the thought process that led you to decide that in how you're handling it?
Yeah. So with ProveSource, like I mentioned, we don't see it as a $10 million ARR company, and we said, okay, what can we do that will bring this company to the 10 million ARR? Although we're not even in the 1 million ARR yet, but we're looking forward to it. So we thought, what can we do? Like we can either zoom out of ProveSource and like increase it or make it a bigger product and try to invade into other markets or other industries that are closely related to social proof, like the reviews, like reviews app or software or whatever, or email automations or something related to automations in the website and stuff like that, like marketing automations. And right now we sort of decided to try it with the reviews thing. We sort of decided to see where it goes and how we can increase the product. But then the other trajectory that we thought about is we can create another product. That's also create a new revenue stream. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. We're very technical. We can build products very fast. And let's do it the same way we did with ProveSource. Sell it first and then build it. And we tried it with a couple of products, by the way, over the last couple of years, over the last 2 years. They didn't succeed. And PurpleAds was like our first secondary product success, or it's not really a success, it's just starting out, but it's already generating revenue. Yeah, basically the idea is not putting your eggs in one basket, creating more than one product, because that's what we like to do. We love creating products, and we're good at it, I guess. We're pretty good at it.
How do you deal though with focus? I mean, if you're focused on one product, that's one thing. Everybody is aligned and they know what the company does.
Yeah.
Now you have two products. You need to support two products. You start to have priorities for features. One of them brings more revenue. One of them does not yet.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
It's actually very hard to do that. And we decided that the team is not going to work on the new products as long as they're not matured. So we've decided that me and Yossi, as the co-founders, we're going to work on the product, on new products ourselves. We're going to prove a point. We're going to prove that these products can work or can generate revenue, and people can find use for them. And then we're going to bring in the team.
Right. So I'm curious about one thing. So you have I'm talking about ProveSource. You have a product, a SaaS product that's generating you, let's take out PurpleAds out of the way. It's
600.
A little bit, yeah, 600K ARR. Obviously, for sure, there's product market fit with that, which is extremely difficult to achieve, and you've achieved that. And it's growing by 50K of ARR every month, which means it will double itself in a year from now.
Yeah.
We're talking 1.2 million. And then as it grows, and you say it's very sticky, it brings in, as more people use it, the more people are going to use it, etc.
Yeah.
So stickiness factor is amazing there. Why on earth are you still looking to find the next best thing? Why not just double down? I understand you're saying that you don't think it's a $5 million, $10 million product. But how would you know if you're not even giving it like its full bandwidth or your and your co-founders' minds. I mean, you are half of the time, 3 days a week or whatever you said, you're preoccupied with running and finding the next best idea. So how does that, why do you not want to give ProveSource like your everything and just see where it goes?
We did. Up until December 2019, we were 100% into ProveSource, and we hired our first employee or developer to work with us in the end of 2019 on ProveSource. So we very much believe in this product, and we've tried a lot in we've invested 2.5 years of full-time, Sunday to Friday, on this product. We just didn't manage to make it explode. We didn't find a way to make it explode.
What would be your idea of exploding?
I don't know. It's probably a fantasy and it doesn't really happen. But if you're seeing 10K MRR growth per month, or 20K, or 500 new customers a month, that's a few times bigger than what we're growing right now.
Adding 10K of MRR, that's your kind of dream. It depends on what your current base is. If ProveSource would generate 10K MRR every month right off the bat, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
But if it generates 10 or 20K new MRR in 2 years from now, when it's a $4 or $5 million a year product, that shouldn't surprise you too much.
I don't see the company, if it's going to make 3 million ARR, right? I don't see it growing 20K MRR per month. It's not going to happen.
Let me ask it differently. Do you think you're rushing into conclusions too fast?
I have a lot of second thoughts about it. I guess my co-founder could say the same. I mean, ProveSource is the main money maker for this company, as a product, right? So it's generating most of the revenue for the company, and it's keeping the paychecks and the lights on and all that stuff, whatever they say. But like I said, I don't see it growing any more than faster. That's it's a little pop-up that shows up on your website. Go prove. That's a wordplay here. Go prove that it's bringing you ROI. So you're spending $50 on this thing. Who says it's bringing me $100 back a month? It's very hard to measure. It depends on so many factors, and it's just a small widget on your website.
But what are your challenges as a company right now?
So I think customer support is a challenge because it takes a lot of effort and time from us, the co-founders, and we don't have enough time to think about strategy or to even build stuff strategically. So that's a lot of time that we have to solve it ASAP. We have to bring in someone who's talented. He's not necessarily, when we're searching for someone like that, we're searching for someone who can give the same experience that we're providing our customers. The second most difficult, I think, is the education. So like I said, it's a small market. And then when we brought in Bill, our VP of growth, we started talking about funnels, something that we haven't talked about up until now. We were always at the bottom of the funnel, selling to people who already know what they're buying. So people are searching for social proof on Google. They know what social proof is. Here's a product. But what about people who are looking for how to increase their conversion rates, how to make their website better, how to improve their reviews or ratings or whatever? These are all people that can be educated and taught that social proof can make their business bigger or help their business. So I think this thing, the education and the content marketing and creating the funnel from top to bottom is probably the second biggest hurdle we're facing right now.
What are the steps you're taking today to combat these two challenges?
So the first one is pretty easy. We're trying to find somebody who's good, talented, hungry, and can provide the customer support. It's a hiring process, so that's the major challenge. It just takes time. In terms of content marketing and education, so we're working on some very high-level strategic operations together with Bill, our VP of growth. We're talking about webinars, we're talking about academies, like building an education source for people in the e-commerce area, in the travel industry, coaching websites, stuff like that, teaching them more and more about social proof and things beyond.
In a month from now, where do I meet you?
In a month from now, we have a customer support rep. I'm pretty sure that we will, make that hire because we've been working on it for the last 2 months. So that's going to be done in a month. In terms of the content and education, so we started producing the first webinar, very, very lean kind of thing, homemade production of content webinar explaining roughly what is social proof and why is it good in the digital world. I guess that we'll have that ready by, in a month. With already a tactical plan for the next month. But yeah, that's the plans for the next month. So make the hire and produce at least one piece of content that is, long lasting.
Man, I wish they just concentrated on ProveSource and forget about all the other product ideas. But I get it. Nathan wants to grow to 10 million in ARR and he thinks ProveSource alone will not get the job done. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And in the meantime, I'll continue following Nathan and the Configo story.